morning everyone, this is Bramster and today I'm coming to you with a puzzle called 159 Whispers by Math Pesto. I don't think I've actually covered a puzzle by Math Pesto before on the channel, so yeah, this will be an interesting one. It definitely covers one of my favorite rule sets and a rule set that I've struggled with a little bit in the past, so it'll be interesting to see what we come up with. So I believe at time that this video is going to come out, we are now into June, which means that we are in the second month of me running the Polarizing Sudoku Puzzle Pack on my channel, and I will throw links around for that. Of course, if you want to submit answers and be in the running for whatever prize I manage to come up with for this one, then please do so. I've got some thoughts, but we'll see how that all goes. And I will, there'll be links. The other thing is, if you're not a subscriber, please do. YouTube loves subscriber growth for promoting a channel, and promoting a channel is how I can get more puzzles out there. And honestly, it's how I will get more setters to send me puzzles and everything. And on that even more, if you are a setter or if you're a solver and have come across puzzles that you think would be really cool for my channel, please submit them and follow my submission guidelines, which I will also throw. There'll be a link below, but I'll try and throw one above. They're not too hard. I don't believe they're onerous at all, but it does allow me to get a puzzle produced a lot more quickly, which is what I need to do at the moment. As I said, if you're not the creator of the puzzle, send it in anyway, because what I can do is I can try and reach out to the creator of the puzzle and see if they'll give me permission to do it. But yeah, with all of that out of the way, I think that's pretty much everything. Let's get on to this puzzle. 159 Whispers by Math Pesto, and basically the title describes the rules in play. So we'll start with normal Sudoku rules. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. We then have these green whisper lines, and along whisper lines, adjacent digits, whether it's diagonal or orthogonal, must have a difference of at least 5. Now, the most obvious ramification of this, which I've described many times before, is you can never put 5 on a whisper line, because if you were to put a 5 on a whisper line, 5 lower than 5, so 5 different going down would be 0, which is not between 1 and 9, and 5 different going up would be 10, also not between 1 and 9. And the closer to 5 you are on a whisper line, the more constrained it is. The last rule in play are these red columns. And this is the 159 rule. And this is, I think this is row indexing. And what this means is the digit that gets placed into one of these cells will tell you the position of the 1 in that row. So for example, if this was a 4, then that would mean the 1, because this is column 1, in that row would have to be in column 4. So 4 here means 1 goes here. If I was to put a 1 here, that means the 1 is in column 1, which is correct. So that's how that works. And the rule is the same in column 5 and in column 9. So yeah. Hopefully that makes sense. There is an example in the rules on the puzzle and in the description, so you can work through that if you need it, but I just gave one. May not have been the one in the rules. Let's give this a shot. So the obvious thing that is jumping out to me is, as I said, you can never put a 5 on a whisper line, and all of those are whisper lines, so this is the 5. Now, I'm not 100% sure where to start. I think it's going to be this column. Now, one thing that is not inherently obvious about 159 puzzles, but you can get there if you think about it a little, and I'm going to ignore the whisper lines while explaining this. I'm just going to use this, I think, is if you think about these cells, and let's think about what we can put in them. All of these have to be from a different high, medium, low band, because if we were to, for example, put a 4 here and a 6 here, this is meaning I have to put a 9 here, and this is meaning I have to put a 9 here, and I've broken the puzzle. So what I have to do is I have to make one of these from 1, 2, 3, to place the 9 in this box, one of these from 4, 5, 6 to place in this box, and one of these from 7, 8, 9 to place in this box. And this would be true for every one of these. So I cannot put 4 or 6 in either of those, or I would be forced to place a 5 in one of those cells, which I cannot do. So 4 or 6 cannot go there. And 4 and 6 cannot go in any of those because of the whisper rule. If I was to put 4 there, then the only digit between 1 and 9 that is 5 away from 4 is 9, and both of those would be 9. If I was to put 4 there, both of those would be 9. So 4 can only go at the ends, and the same is true from 6 because 1 has the same effect. Can't put it there, I would break the 1, 5, 9, I'd have to put a 5 there. There, I'd have to put 1s there. There, I'd have to put 1s there. So this is a 4, 6 pair, which means 5 must be in one of those two, and 5 must be in one of those two. Now, I could have got this bottom one by using the whisper rule, but I didn't. So, more fool me. Now, next to 4 and 6 must be 1 and 9, because if this is the 4, that will force the 9, and if this is the 6, this will force the 1, and vice versa. So, these are actually... So, 1 and 9 means 5... Well, I actually know the order, because this is 1 or 9, and it can't be 1, because if it was 1, that would put a 5 there, and I can't put a 5 there. So this is the 9, this is the 5, that makes that the 4, this becomes the 6, this becomes the 1, this becomes the 5. So now I've got the high-low colouring. Can I actually high-low colour this without destroying? Not really. That's why I'm not a fan of the default broken 159 colouring. I'm just going to have to live without highlighting. So these are going to be from 7, 8. This is going to be from 2, 3. This is going to be from 2, 3. And this is going to be from 7, 8. Can I narrow that down? Maybe. Now, 7, 8 is going to put 5 in one of those two. 2, 3 is going to put 5 in one of those two. 7, 8 is going to put 5 in one of those two. And 2, 3 is going to put 5 in one of those two. And I cannot put 5 there. So that's the 5. That's the 2. That's the 3. That is not the 5. This becomes the 5. This is not the 5. Now, 3 cannot go next to 7. They are not 5 away. So that becomes the 8. That becomes the 5. That becomes the 7, which means that becomes the 5. And we're getting a whole heap of stuff placed. That is kind of cool. Now, this has to be low, and it's 1 or 2, because it can't be 3, and well, they're the only digits that are 5 away. So this is 1 or 2. This is 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is high, and it has to be 8 or 9 to be far enough away from the 3. Now, have I done... No, I haven't done all the 5s. The 6 makes that the 5, and the 4 makes that the 5, and now I've done all the 5s. Now, 5 points to 9, 5 points to 1. Now, if this is a 1, this would be an 8. There's going to be something happening there. And I'm going to finish this line. So this is from 1, 2, 3, 4. It can't be 4. Same as this can't be 6. Because if this was 4, both of those would have to be 9. If this is 6, both of those would have to be 1. But I could potentially put 7 there and make these 1, 2. And this is 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I'm not sure. So that was a cool break-in, but where do I look next? I wish I'd cosmetically reset this puzzle. Do I just remember that it's 159 and colour? Hmm. So I'm going to colour. I'm doing a whispers puzzle without colouring and it feels very strange. So those are high, those are low, those are high, those are low. So this is going to be a high and a low. Now in here, they are the same high low. Hmm. So again, I can't put 4 or 6 in here. It's got to be here or here, doesn't it? Because these have to be from different bands, as I explained at the beginning. So one of these will be 1, 2, 3. One of them has to be 4, 5, or 6. And so one of these has to be 4 or 6 because you need to put something from each band into the whisper line. Because if I didn't, there'd be a problem. So I have to put a 4 or a 6 somewhere in here. If I put it in either of those, I've got the duplicated 1, 9 problem. So this is a 4 or a 6, which means the 1 goes in here. This now becomes 1 or 9, which puts, and it can't be 9. This is a 1. So this is a 6, which means this is the 1. Right, I just had to remember the banding issue. This is high, this is low. These will be high and this will be low. Now this can't be 1 or 4, so this is 2 or 3. Now these are from 7, 8, and 9. And that's possible, I think. If that's 7, that's 1. Yeah, I mean, so one of those has to be 1, which is fine. But surely I'm going to have the same issue down here. One of these needs to be 4 or 6, and I can't put it in either of those two. So that's a 4, 6, that's a 1, 9, that becomes the 9, that becomes the 4. So that's low, that's high. These are both low. This is high. This is 7 or 8. These are 1, 2, 3. Now, across here? So I do need to put a 4 in here, but I think I could. Well, I can't put it there. So 4 is in one of those two cells. Because if I put 4 there, that'd be a 1 and that doesn't work. So 4 has to go. No, I've already got my low band. So these are. Oh, now I'm lost. Because these gave me extreme digits. 1, 2, 3 puts 9 across here somewhere. Hmm. So can I... So what I've got information about is row 5. But I don't... So this is bugging me more. So 9 needs to go down here. But it can go in any of them. 4 needs to go in one of those two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 7 and 8 isn't restricted. And I don't want to pencil mark 4 across boxes yet. I've already got fives everywhere. So there's 4s and 6s in this row. So 6 can go in either of those. Those are really clever. That 6 means 6 can't go there. So 6 is limited to those. But if I put 6 there, that would have to be a 9, and it can't be. That's a 1 or a 2. So that's forced to be a 6, which means that's forced to be a 1, which means that's forced to be a 2. That's not 1 or 2. This is 3 or 4, which means this is not a 7. This is an 8, 9 pair. 4 can't go there. And if 4 is there, that's a 1. But 1 is... This is the 3 because this is the 1. Which means this is the 4. Which means this is the 9. Which means this is the 8. And this is the 7. That's very cool. So, low digit, high digit. Pardon me. Ugh. 1 is in one of those two now because of that 1. So that means one of those is 4. So hang on. I've missed stuff here. That 4 means that's 9. That 7 means that's 9. Right, I've done that. 9 is self-referencing. 9 is over here. But I've got that 9 now. So 9 is in one of those two, which means one of those is 6. 6 makes that 1. 1 is self-referencing. 3 makes that 1. 5 makes that 1. Okay, I've got all of that. So now it's got to be this, doesn't it? But that is still wide open. If that's 2... Except it's not. That's a high digit. It can't be a 1 and it can't be a 3. The only low digits it could be is 2 and 4. Now, I've already said if this is a 4, that would put a 1 there, which doesn't work. But if this is a 2, it puts a 1 there. And 2 and 1 are not 5 apart from each other. This is a high digit. This is a 7, 8, or 9. So this is low. This is high. So this is 7, 8, or 9. And we know one of those two is a 9. So this is not a 2. This is a 1 or a 3. This is a low digit, which can't be a 4, so it's a 1, 2, or a 3. That is a 4. Seven, 8, 9. It can't be 8 because that would have to be the 1. So this is 7 or 9 because 1, which means this is not the 1. This is 2 or 3, giving me a 2, 3 pair in the column. Two, 3 pair in the column. Sorry about this. It's a hay fever morning in Melbourne. 2, 3 pair in the column. So 1 has to go right there because 1 is in that box, 1 is in that box, it goes in one of those two, and there's a 1 there. So that's a 1, which means that's a 2, which means that's a 3, which means neither of those are 7, which means that's a 9 and that's an 8. That's a 7, which means neither of those are 3. That is a 1 and that is a 2. And the 9 is pointing at the 1 and the 1 is pointing at the 9. These are 4, 7. I've missed something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 6, and 7. There's no 6 there. So 6 is in one of those two. There's no 4 there. So this is also a triple. 1, 2, 3, and 7. Well, there's no 2 in either of those, so that's a 2. This is a 3, 7. 2 is pointing at 1. No. I keep got to remembering the indexing. Low, low. I'm not sure the high-low coloring is still helping, but this is 3, 6, or 7. It's not 7. 8 means 5 is there. 4 means 9 is there. That is high. That is low. That is low. There's no 9 up here anymore. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. So these are 4, 7, and 8. That's not 7. One, 2, 3, 6, and 8. That's a 2 because of that, which leaves that wide open. Puts 2 right there by Sudoku, which makes this a 2, 6 pair, which means one of the 9s is there and one of the 9s is there. Which, okay, but it does give me that pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, can't be 6 because it just couldn't. So it's 3, 8, which means the 9s are either there or there by the indexing, which also works by Sudoku if you look at it. 7, 3, 6, 1, 7, 8, which puts 1 in one of those two. 3, 4, 8, 4, 7, 8. It's got to be this. So this is low. So if this is... If this is 4, that would be 9. So that cannot be 4. So it's either 3, can't be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It can't be 8. In fact, this can't be 8 either. So 3, 7, 9. Is that right? So what is left in this column? 1. That has to be a 2. Can't put 2. Yeah, sorry. 2 and 2 means 2 has to go right there, which means this is not a 3. It's a 7 or a 9, which gives me a 7, 9 pair, which means this is 6. This is not 6 or 7. This is 4. This is 7. So we've got low and high. 7, 9. So 1, 2. This has to be 3, which is low. Did that give me anything index related? probably not. I don't think I need the high-low coloring anymore, so I am going to get rid of it. That makes that 6 and that 2. That 6 makes that 9, and it makes that 9. So those are not the 9s. 4, 8. I can still put 1s in those, I think. 2, 5. The problem I always have with these is, and it's not a problem, it's just something that is always a trick for me, is always trying to remember how to scan these effectively. And that's just part of the puzzle. So 7, 9, of course, makes that 8, which makes that 1, which makes that 9, because that becomes the... What did I just do? That's 9, so that becomes 8, and that becomes 3. That 9 makes that the 7, and that the 9. This is only missing a 4, which makes that a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 go in there, which makes this the 8 and this the 6. This is missing a 1. Now, that being a 1 makes that the 7. So this is a 4, 8 pair, but I can't put a 4 there. That's the 8, that's the 4, which makes this the 1 by indexing. Very cool. 4 and 6 go in there, and they're resolved by Sudoku. Who would have thunk it? That becomes an 8. That becomes a 3. The two missing digits here are 3 and 7, and they seem to be resolved. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 go in there. So this is a 6, this is an 8, this is a 7, and this is a 6. And that looks good to the computer, and that's got an entered solution, so it should be good. That is a very cool 159 Whispers puzzle. Started off with some fairly obvious Whispers stuff that I missed, and then you really had to think about the 159 stuff. And I think if you'd not seen the concept of the 159 banding, isn't the right term. I don't know what the term for it is. There probably is one, but the concept of the high, mid, low in the 159. If you didn't think about that carefully and had never encountered it before, this would be a puzzle that would challenge you a lot more than it did me. And I missed some stuff. That was a lot of fun. Really cool puzzle. Thank you, Math Pesto. Really enjoyed it. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I try not to say this too often, but please do subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Please check out the Polarizing Sudoku Puzzle Pack. And yeah, good luck with your solving.